Hola, ¿qué tal? Today we are going to learn how to describe things that we usually do using regular Spanish verbs. Verbs are words which describe actions, to talk, to eat, to dance, etc. And regular verbs are those verbs which follow a specific rule or rules without exception. All Spanish verbs in their original infinitive form, infinitivo in Spanish, finish in either AR, ER, or IR. This is the way you will see them in a dictionary. For example, to speak is hablar, finishing in AR. Comer is to eat, finishing in ER, etc. However, when you want to describe who does the action and say, for example, I speak or we eat, you have to swap the infinitive verb ending for the correct ending used for that person. For example, the ending we use when I do something is O, and so if we want to say I speak, we have to say hablo, changing the AR ending of hablar to an O. We are now going to start by looking at some useful regular verbs in their infinitive form, and then we will see which ending should be used for each person. To speak is hablar. To work is trabajar. To listen to is escuchar. To buy is comprar. To eat is comer. To drink is beber. To read is leer. To understand is comprender. To live is vivir. To write is escribir. Now let's see how to change these regular verbs in order to describe which person does the action. So with the AR endings, if you want to say, for example, I speak, you'll have to put an O ending. So you'll say hablo. I work will be trabajo. I listen will be escucho. And I buy will be compro. So always you'll have to put an O rather than the AR ending. But if you want to say that you do something in an informal way to one person, then you'll have to put an AS ending. So you speak will be hablas. You work is trabajas. You listen is escuchas. You buy is compras. And if you want to say this, you do something, but in a formal way, then you'll have to put just an A. So you speak will be habla. You work will be trabaja. You listen is escucha. And you buy is compra. And then if you want to say that he does an action or she does an action, you'll have to put also, like the one before, just an A. So if you want to say he or she speaks, you'll say habla. He or she works, trabaja. He or she listens, escucha. And he or she buys, compra. Let's see now what happens with verbs finishing in ER. For example, with the verb comer. So if you want to say that I do something, you'll also put an O, like with the verb we've seen before. So if you want to say I eat, you'll say como. I drink is bebo. I read is leo. And I understand is comprendo. But if you want to say that you do something in an informal way, you'll put an es ending. So you eat is comes. You drink is bebes. You read is lees. You understand is comprendes. If you want to say this again, you do something, but in a formal way, then you just put an I. So you eat is come. You drink is bebe. You read is lee. You understand is comprende. And if you want to say that he or she does something, then you also put just an I rather than the ER ending. So if you want to say he or she eats, you'll say come. He or she drinks will be bebe. He or she reads will be lee. And he or she understands is comprende. And now we'll see the IR endings. So again, if you want to say that I do something, you'll have to put an O rather than the IR. So if you want to say I live, you'll say vivo. And I write is escribo. If you want to say that you do something in an informal way, you'll put an es ending. So if you want to say you live, you'll say vives. And you write is escribes. If you want to say that you do something in a formal way, then you'll put just an I. So you live is vive. And you write is escribe. And if you want to say that he or she does an action, you also put just the I. So if you want to say he or she lives, you'll say vive. And he or she writes, you'll say escribe. If you want, you can say yo hablo instead of hablo, or you can say tú hablas instead of hablas, etc. But it is not necessary. To make negative sentences, you put no before the verb. So if you want to say I don't speak, you'll say no hablo, or if you want to say I don't eat, you say no como, etc. And to make questions, you simply have to change the intonation of your voice. For example, if you want to say do you drink coffee, you'll say bebes café. Or if you want to say do you speak Spanish, you'll say ¿hablas español? Without the change of intonation, we could, for example, say ¿hablas español? Which means you speak Spanish, as an affirmative statement. Let's see some more examples with all these endings. For example, if you want to say my brother lives in Mexico, in Spanish you'll say mi hermano vive en México. If you want to say I don't understand, you'll say no comprendo. If you want to ask where do you work to one person in an informal way, you'll say ¿dónde trabajas? And if you want to ask it in a formal way, you'll say ¿dónde trabaja? If you want to clarify, you can say ¿dónde trabaja usted? Because trabaja also means he or she works. If you want to say I listen to music, you'll say escucho música. If you want to ask do you drink wine, you'll say ¿bebes vino? This is in an informal way. If you want to ask it in a formal way, you'll say ¿bebe vino? Or you can also add usted. ¿Bebe usted vino? Or you can put usted in front if you want. ¿Usted bebe vino? And if you want to say I live in Spain, you'll say vivo en España. In the next beginner lesson, we will see more verb endings, those we use for a group of people, to say than we, nosotros, do something, to say than all of you, vosotros or ustedes, do something, or to say than they, ellos, do something. Until then, I recommend that you try to memorize all the information from today's class and practice it with different sentences. This is a very important foundation to be able to understand future, more complicated structures, where we will introduce irregular verbs, along with verbs in the past, present, and future tenses. I hope you have a great week. See you soon with more Spanish. Adiós.